Yes, we are back here. Tommy Maroon Sports Show, WCTV, the best place to catch some local stuff and maybe some stuff, period. Anyways, today's just going to be a pick show, like, my usual picks, Tommy's picks, of course. And then after that, I think I'm going to do something fun, but most importantly, we're going to look at my picks from last week. And it looks a little like this. Right there, Walsh took down Wake Catholic by a final score of, 62-38. And VASJ beat St. Vincent St. Mary 45-14. And Padua beat NDCL 21-7. And Hudson barely got out of North Royalton with a win 14-9. And the Hornets trounced Cuyahoga Falls 58-7. Yep, it was fun to watch, I'll tell you that. 44 of those points came in the first quarter alone. Yeah, it could have been worse, but there was a running clock in the second quarter. Yeah, not just the second half, but for a lot of the second quarter as well. We finally showed mercy to the opposition. Aurora Barberton ended up being an Aurora win 35-33. We'll get to more in Highland Aurora in a second. Nordonia won 41-10 over Stowe. And Medina in another high-scoring shootout beat Shaker Heights 70-38. Brunswick shutout stolen by a final score of 34-0. How about Berea Mid-Park? They upset Homestead Falls at the Finney Stadium 35-21. And Avon beat Amherst Steel, which wasn't surprising, by a final score of 63-28. They have the one seed in the D2R6, regardless of outcome next week. Glen Oak beat McKinley 7-3. Washington took down Harding 48-14. And Benedictine beat Brush 42-20. And how about those North Ridgeville Rangers doing us a favor by beating the Avon Lake Shoremen by a final score 23-17, which is always a good sight to see. And then Mentor shut out Strongsville 42-0. Bedford beat Lorraine 15-12. Twinsburg 21. Brecksville Broadview Heights 0. And Talmadge edges out a 1-point win over Roosevelt 18-17. Well, Green took down Hoover 41-34. No time for the wonderful world of Division III football, which, as we all know, is better than Division I football. Wisconsin Whitewater edged out Wisconsin River Falls in a top 10 showdown once again, 21-14. And Winfield, my lock of the week, beat George Fox 41-13. And John Carroll doing John Carroll things, which was another win over Ohio Northern, 44-14. Alma beat Hope. Hope was my upset of the week, 35-17. Gettysburg fell to Muhlenberg by a final score of 41-13. And Geneva beat Teal by a final score of 20-9. The big red one, Denison beat Wabash 28-24. Ohio Wesleyan took down the Hiram College Terriers 19-18. And Lycoming beat Catholic 28-25. Not to mention Trine beating Olivet 28-14, while Case beat Westminster. The Spartans won 31-6, while Marietta took down Wilmington 45-15. And then Stout played Stevens Point, and Wisconsin Stout won that game. Then you have Wisconsin Oshkosh against Wisconsin Eau Claire, 35-7 Oshkosh. Wittenberg beat the lights out of Oberlin, 72-7. How about that win for the Tigers? While Heidelberg beat Otterbein 28-8. And the Yellow Jackets, a good old brown and gold brigade, won as always, winning by a final score of 34-22. I mean, 3-3 on the season is not that shabby, and hopefully we will continue to pick it up next week, which we will get to in a minute. NFL time. On Thursday Night Football, the Chiefs beat the Magic School Buses Lost episode 19-8. This time the defense actually showed up, but this time Russell Wilson forgot to show up. My goodness, Broncos 1-5. Broncos country, let's ride. Out in London, the Ravens beat the Titans by a final score of 24-16, while the Commies beat the Falcons 24-16 as well. The Vikings took down the Bears without any issues by a final score of 19-13. Bengals beat the Seahawks. I think the Bengals may be back, folks, 17-13. But you know who's really back? The Cleveland Browns beating the Fraudy Niners by a final score 19-17. Oh, my Lord. The Fraudy Niners lose their first game of the season thanks to a wide right kick by Jake Moody. When it missed, I said things that I'm not allowed to say here. I went absolutely bonkers when the kick missed. I ran outside of my grandparents' house, went absolutely berserk, because it's going to be a Browns-Lions Super Bowl. You can run, but you can't hide. Texans beat the Saints 20-13. The Jaguars beat the Colts 37-20. Another free willy win over the Panthers despite a sluggish start, 42-21. Raiders beat the Patriots. Patriots absolutely sucked this year, 21-18. And the Lions beat the Buccaneers 26. My upset of the week was wrong. But you know what? I'm kind of happy about it because we're going to get a Lions-Browns Super Bowl. 3-2 are the Browns. 5-1 are Detroit. Yeah, what world do we live in if it's going to be a Browns-Lions Super Bowl, which seems very feasible? The Browns are the number 7 seed in the AFC, while the Lions are 5-1, which is tied with the Eagles, tied with the 49ers for the highest record in the NFL. Oh my God, the Lions are good. The Browns are good. I want it to happen. I think it's going to happen. Trust me on that. But also trust me on these final scores as well. The Rams beat the Cardinals 26-9. Jets are the first team to beat the Eagles this season. How did Robert Saleh, Zach Wilson, and the defense do it? I don't know. 20-14, Jets win. And the Bills beat the Giants 14-9. And last night the Chargers played the Cowboys, and I believe the Cowboys won 20-17. I believe. Let me check the final score of that. I forgot what it was. I watched it last night. I'll tell you that. And was it 20-17? Why? Yes, it was 20-17. Chargers are now 2-3 on the season, and the Cowboys are 4-2. All right, for last week recap, as I try to edit my script because I don't know what the final score of the game is going to be for Monday night until the next day. Won 9 games and lost 11 in high school football. This was the first week I finished below 500 in high school football, putting me at a 135-45 record with 148 points. In D3 football, I won 12-5 with 13 points, putting me at 83-36 with 89 points. In the NFL, I won 10-5 with 11 points. Finally, a good week in the NFL. I can't believe it. Putting me at a 53-42 record with 59 points. Now, folks, time for Tommy's picks once more because we can't have too much of my picks, can we? No, we can't. No, sir. Anyways, first things first, high school football. The Highland Hornets will be in a minute, but first we're going to talk about the fact that this is the last week of the regular season for high school football. So for some of these schools, this is a make or break game, as in they win, they can make the playoffs. If they lose, they're on the outside looking in. It's so hard to fail to make the playoff. It's hard to not make the playoffs in this day and age when the top 16 teams in each region are getting in. But here are 2 schools that should be getting in. Hoban and St. Ed's. Oh, man, that's going to be a big game, folks. Hoban against St. Ed's. Probably the biggest game in the state. Maybe the entire country. I'm picking the Hoban Knights. They're home. Shaker Heights against Cleveland Heights. Picking the Cleveland Heights Tigers. Avon's going to finish the season undefeated at home with a win over Avon Lake. Ooh, here's a good one. The game. McKinley, Washington. 7-2 against 9-0. I think the undefeated team in the Massillon Washington Tigers are going to finish the season undefeated with a win over Kenton McKinley. And then the winner-take-all showdown. for the Suburban League American Conference. WHBW is going to be broadcasting it. Don't worry, folks. We'll be on the mic for the biggest game of the entire 2023 high school football season when we take on the Aurora Greenmen. And once again, a winner-take-all showdown for the American Conference. It's the last week of the season. You know what that means? It's senior night. Aurora wants to play spoiler. They haven't beaten us in 4 years, but we're going to try to make sure it doesn't happen. I like our odds of beating Aurora. So give me the Hornets. Padua against Walsh, picking the Walsh Jesuit Warriors. Brecksville against Nordonia, picking Nordonia. I have an upset right here. Please, dear Lord, let Olmsted Falls lose. Now let the Midview Middies win, because that benefits the Hornets. You know what also benefits the Hornets? A North Ridgeville loss to Amherst Steel, but I don't think that's going to happen. I'm going with North Ridgeville. North Royalton against Wadsworth. I think Wadsworth's going to win that. They're my lock of the week. They're going to win the National Conference, and it makes me realize, oh man, why can't the Suburban League have a league championship game? Because we have one conference winner, the American Conference, one the National Conference, but that's just how it is. And it could be Highland Wadsworth in a winner-take-all showdown for the Suburban League. Do you realize how cool that is, Highland Wadsworth? That's a rivalry that's kind of dead right now because we haven't played them in 4 years. Ever since the Suburban League split into 2, it's become a rare occasion for us to play them. But anyways, Cuyahoga Falls against Barberton, picking the Barberton Magics. Brunswick against Strongsville, picking Brunswick. St. Vincent St. Mary plays Benedictine, picking the Benedictine Bengals. Mentor plays Euclid, picking the Mentor Cardinals. Hoover against Jackson, picking the Hoover Vikings. Buckeyes should beat Normandy. Norton against Ravenna, picking Norton. Lake Catholic will finish the season 8-2 this year with a win over NDCL. A surprisingly good season for them. But to them, that's not surprising. Then Rootstown playing Mogador, picking Rootstown. And then Black River against Columbia. Columbia finishes the season undefeated with a win. Columbia, I think, their second straight season undefeated at bare minimum. Anyways, D3 football, Wilmington playing the Evil Empire. I hate to pick the Evil Empire, but there's no way they lose. That's my lock. Warris against Wartburg, picking Wartburg. And then you got Stevens Point against River Falls, picking River Falls. Oshkosh against, I have Oshkosh on there twice. I don't know why. I must have made a mistake. Let me check what game that is. My mistake, folks. I kind of hurried through this, if I can find it. But what I can tell you is that this Wi-Fi isn't working. Good Lord. Anyways, Whitewater against Stout, picking Stout as my upset. Kenyon against Wabash, picking Kenyon. Union against Hobart, picking Hobart. And then Otterbein against the Brown and Gold Brigade, picking the Yellow Jackets to win that. Hiram against Oberlin, picking the Hiram College Terriers as we finally have it ready. Let me check. Top 25. Hold on a minute. On the 21st. Who's Oshkosh have? Sorry about this. Whitewater's playing Stout. Okay, yeah, I picked Stout as my upset. Where's the University of Wisconsin Oshkosh? Or is it River Falls? Is Stevens Point? I got that already. And God, can't find it. Oh well. We'll just continue rolling along. With Mount St. Joe's being Hanover, Muskingum being Ohio Northern. Case will beat Waynesburg. Case is sneaky good this season. Wittenberg against DePaul, picking the Wittenberg Tigers. Defiance will beat Anderson. Platteville will beat Wisconsin Eau Claire. And Carnegie Mellon will beat Washington Jefferson. And Allegheny will beat Westminster. Now time for the NFL. All right, Thursday Night Football, you got the Saints taking on the Jaguars, picking the Jaguars. They should win that game without any issues. Ravens against the Lions. Lions are going to continue their run for the Super Bowl because they are going to make the Super Bowl. I think they're going to beat Baltimore. In fact, I got a lot of road teams winning this week looking at it. Sea Bears playing the Las Vegas Raiders. Justin Fields is not that guy, but the Raiders will win. Colts against the Browns. The Browns will also make the Super Bowl. You can run from it, but you can't hide from it, as I mentioned earlier. Picking the Browns. And then you have the Patriots against the Bills. Bills almost lost to the Giants last week. Had they never got bailed out on a pass interference call at the end of the game. But I think they come back with anger. They're going to take it out on a weak team like the Patriots. My pick is the Bills. That's my lock of the week. Giants against the Commies. Picking the Commies. Buccaneers against the Falcons. I'm picking Baker and the Bucks. Rams against the Steelers. I got Pittsburgh winning that because we can't have anything good in life. Seahawks against the Cardinals. Picking Seattle. And then the Packers will beat the Magic School Buses lost episode. And the Chiefs will beat up on the Chargers once again. And then Sunday night, Eagles hosting Miami. Godfrey Willie picking up the W on that. And last but not least, the Vikings will upset the 49ers on Monday Night Football. A lot of teams off this week. This week. That is hard to believe. What's also hard to believe is that we're about a third of the way through the season now in the NFL. Oh, you gods, I don't believe it. I honestly do not believe it. But what I do believe is that there's going to be some excitement coming up in the wonderful world of OHSAA playoffs. Looking at this right here, the Avon Eagles will be the number 1 seed regardless of what happens this week in Division II Region 6. And, of course, we are going to be either the 2 seed or the 7 seed. We are going to range from a lot of stuff. It depends on what happens. If we win, we will be either the 2 seed or 4 seed. I assume we will be the 3 seed. If we win, maybe the 2 seed. What I do know is that Perrysburg is playing Anthony Wayne, and Perrysburg is 7-2 on the season. Their only losses were tough games to Whitmer and Findlay. They just beat up on Springfield 47-6. Now they're hosting Anthony Wayne. I'm hoping Perrysburg can win that game. The Yellow Jackets beat the Generals so we can jump Anthony Wayne and get that 2 seed. And regardless, the whole goal is to dodge the Avon Eagles because the Avon Eagles are going to be the tough team out there. But anyways, looking at everything right here, we should be at least in the top 4, as long as if we don't lose the football game. If we lose the game, that would be bad. Aurora is the number 4 seed in the region. They are 8-1 on the season. Coach Bob Mahalik has them going right where he wants them. He only has 1 loss this season. It was a 31-14 loss at Riverside too. So they've lost 1 game on the road. We've lost 1 game at home. And it's all going to come down to this. Just like us, their wins have been pretty dominant except for Twinsburg and Barberton. Twinsburg 17-7 win. Barberton 35-33 win. They've had back-to-back shutouts against Cuyahoga Falls and Talmadge. And then Copley, they won 42-6. I mean, against these against the similar schools, they're very similar to us. I mean, records look alike. I mean, the outcomes look alike except for Barberton. Their only blemish came to a Division II Region 5 powerhouse. I think it's going to be a fun night, Friday night, and I can't wait. I hope you're going to come to it, folks, because it's going to be at North Gateway Tire Field, which is not that far from here, about 20 minutes from here. And it's going to be some of the most exciting things of all time. Oh, man, who else can't wait for it? I know I can't wait. Who will win? I know that Sports on Tap will be going to the game, which is always good to see. But hopefully the Northeast Ohio Zone confirm where he's going. I think he's going to Chardon Riverside. And looking at it, of course, 53% Chardon Riverside, so it looks like he'll be going there, unfortunately. We finished second. Friday night touchdown. has us as a potential game of the week. Yes, sir. Everybody, stop what you're doing right now and go on Fox 8 Friday Night Touchdown. Game of the week. Let me go right to Fox 8 Game of the Week. And your options are, if I can find it, for Fox 8's Game of the Week. Your options are Cleveland Heights, Shaker Heights, boo. Mogador Rootstown, also a boo. And St. Ed's Open, boo again. But Highland Aurora. And we are about 8% behind Mogador and Rootstown for that Game of the Week. There it is right there, folks, in all its glory. Will we win Game of the Week? I hope we do. I mean, this is clearly one of the biggest games in all of Northeast Ohio. I mean, a winner-take-all showdown for Suburban League American Conference, as I'm doing nothing right now but talking to you and voting. Well, folks, I'm going to tell you one thing, ladies and gentlemen. Next week, Tommy's Picks will feature high school football playoffs. The round is 16. My goodness, that's hard to believe we are almost there to crown a state championship. Just feels like yesterday we were just starting the season. But here we are, ready to play some high school football. And, of course, both teams will be in the playoffs regardless of what happens, Highland and Aurora. But the question is, who will win? Hopefully we do. The mission from God has to continue. And we will broadcast in WHBW. Speaking of which, tonight, and I repeat, only tonight, this Tuesday, on the 17th, the Hornets play Barberton in a game of high school boys soccer for the playoffs. We will be on the mic to broadcast that, so be sure you stay tuned to our YouTube channel. Subscribe to us. How many subscribers do we have? Let's see here. 490, my goodness. It's hard to believe my personal YouTube account has 2 subscribers. Yes, 2 subscribers. I don't know why anyone would subscribe to my YouTube channel. I don't post any videos on my personal YouTube channel, but 490 subscribers is not too shabby because my goal by the end of the year is at 500 by the end of football season, I should say. Well, folks, that's it. We're all done for the week. We'll catch you next week for some high school picks. Till then, I will see you around.
You are watching WCTV, Wadsworth Community Television.